All right, y'all, we live. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, better understanding self, giving praise to the Most High. So check it. I'm gonna open up the line today, but we got Angie Stone. Spread some news off of Tough Talk, Tough News TV. Tyler Perry goes in on Angie Stone. Really, the record label that owe her money. Let's get it. Shout out to Kylan Bell, man, for tapping in. But let's get it, y'all. We're gonna go over this the trucker, man. The trucker that was involved in Angie Stone's accident. They can't find him, but we're gonna go over a lot of stuff that's going on with Angie Stone. We got a little bit of Steve Coakley. We're gonna open up the line throughout the show though, so everybody can tap in. Let's get it. Shout out Mickey. Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, we got a good one today. I got a good one today. So check this out though, y'all.
Went to Tyler Perry, to be honest, because he seemed visibly upset when he was talking about Angie's situation as it pertains to the record labels manipulating her out of millions upon millions of dollars and never paying her what she was actually worth. And Tyler didn't mince his words at all. He just came out flat out, asked the question and said, "Where's her money?"
But to think that this woman was in the business for all of these years, and there's a difference between performing because you want to and performing because you have to. All of those years, all of those songs, all of that money that was owed to her, where is it?
And that would be a direct shot at Clive Davis and Universal Music Group. And Clive Davis had the unmitigated gall to actually send a message to be read at Angie's memorial service. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't need to be sending any messages. You're the same dude that elected to continue to party when Whitney Houston passed away in that hotel. You were like, hey, the show must go on. So if
yeah, he did. He was partying right after Whitney Houston died. But Tyler Perry, I think we need more people like Tyler Perry speaking up. You know, if everybody started just speaking up on what the industry is doing, they know they're doing it. Tyler only started speaking when he did a clown, but before his words sparked something for the sheep. We need more people speaking up on this because it's too much people in the music industry that done got did wrong and they don't really say nothing.
If anything, you need to be sending a check to Angie's kids and grandkids so that they can enjoy their generational wealth that their mother actually built. Angie's grandkids deserves to utilize that money that their grandmother actually built. And so this thing just really makes me angry. And I feel
like
why
Nick
Tyler
Cannon.
Perry was so angry up on that stage because I feel it
That's
too.
crazy
Now, let me say
that.
this, and I want to make this clear. This is not a shot to the other performers at Angie's celebration of life, but shout out to Kiki White
Y'all
because
know
she
they
bought
had
the
the
house down.
boule
She
at her.
absolutely bought the house down.
I'm gonna show
I'm
y'all
a
that.
man of few emotions, and anytime you could bring a brother like me to tears, oh yeah, you got soul. You have absolutely done your job. Kiki White was anointed on that stage. And even though she broke down, understandably so, she did a fantastic job. She sent Angie out the right way with her vocals. Now, with all of that said, I want to talk to you guys about an interesting message that I received. And it came from a guy by the name of Jim. And the reason why I know his name is because we actually had a phone conversation right before I sat down to do this video. And so Jim is alleging that he knows the guy that ran into Angie's Sprinter van. But it's how he said it in the initial message, and he did repeat it when we talked on the phone. Now, he's one of those good old boys. You can tell in his voice. It doesn't mean that he's a bad person. He was very nice and cordial over the phone and things like that. But what I want to do is I want to take the time to read to you the message, right? But before we go there, I do want to say that the information I'm about to read to you is all alleged. I can't confirm or deny that this is actually true. So it says here, howdy, I used to work at the same trucking company as the fellow who ran into the Sprinter van that hit Miss Stone while she was being tended to on side of the road. Do you hear that, guys? He said that I used to work with the fella who ran into the Sprinter van that hit Miss Stone while she was being tended to on the side of the road. So basically he's saying that she was still alive after the initial wreckage when they ran offside the road and the Sprinter van flipped about 3 or 4 times. But anyway, let's move along. She was thrown a few yards due to impact. I don't think he's going to return to work, honestly. This thing has tormented him and he's not responding to the company's text or phone calls. My wife reached out to his wife to offer support after we learned he turned in the rig and left. My former boss says his explanation was that he came upon the wreck too fast to make an adjustment to dodge the wreck. As I look at the details that I have to my disposal,
MK
something
Ultra,
just
perhaps.
doesn't sound right about this. I'm surprised he hadn't been drinking because there is an extensive history of that. Well, I'm not acting as if I'm Perry Mason with the wherewithal to solve a case. Just thought I'd reach out this way because I sent an email to NC Tub TV, but I didn't get a response. And the reason why he didn't get a response is because he spelt it incorrectly. You can actually see that. So that is what he sent me. I had a conversation with him over the phone. Like I said, this information is all alleged. You never know the intentions of some individuals, but he
Right. I mean, if he was friends with the guy and friends with the guy's wife, I don't know. It could be true, but MK Ultra, I don't know. I think they got real white boys in Alabama that'll do the job. I don't think they gotta put that MK Ultra down on them. But for us, like they did with Dr. Martin Luther King mother, how they killed her, it was, I believe that could have been MK Ultra. But check this out. This is what they was talking about, her royalties. Check this out.
What's up, you guys? Stone Paxton here, and I wanted to get on TikTok, Instagram, all the other social media things, and I wanted to have a small little conversation about Angie Stone because I've been getting so many messages on my from my YouTube video and the Instagram video and the TikTok video as well. With people asking me what my involvement was with Angie, and that involvement is when you hear her, and it's because when Angie was talking on one of her videos, a few of her videos, she mentioned my name, and when she speaks of the Diesel crew, she's talking about us, the West Coast crew, and she talks about her team that has discovered things and has unveiled things for her. We
seen the video of Tony Braxton
took over
the band members
doing the forensic for finding her songs that were missing that she couldn't find. And you know, it's weird because it was a process and it was week after week. We were on the phone, we were talking and blah blah. You from one end to the other spectrum when it comes to the music industry. And we did discover a lot of her stuff that was not in her name. And we were the ones that actually had to let her know. The company that I worked for, the TBC Group, my big brother, Vasal Benford, the CEO of the TBC Group and TBC Group Management, we were the ones that took over finding the songs, shall I say. I'm trying to make sure I say the right word because I don't want anybody to see this video and then they'll take the video and run with it and take parts from it. We were the ones that decided to go and search and find where her publishing was. And we started discovering various things, various situations with her publishing and what was going on with it. And we presented it to her and told her that there was no publishing in her name. And then there were some songs that she had done through the years that weren't even registered in her name, that had never been registered. But we started to find stuff that didn't make sense.
Yeah, he's scared
per se, right? I'm not mentioning any names. We're just gonna talk in general. Angie was very sharp. You know, although she didn't know full details, she knew something wasn't right. And that's why we came on board. Not only that, we were also the ones that were setting up her residency, the TBC Group Management, TBC Group Entertainment, okay? Setting up her residency for Las Vegas. We were 1 week out from that before Angie passed. We were going to fly her out here and have her do her paperwork for her residency in Las Vegas. And the whole purpose, so that you understand, for her residency in Las Vegas was so that she did not have to tour. She didn't want to be on the road anymore. These were her feelings.
He
These
had
were her
on the
thoughts.
road
She
like
just
that.
wanted to be in one place because of her health issues. She wanted to be in one place. She didn't want to be going from here to there. And I kind of, I cried. I've cried so many days because I was saying to myself, I wish that we had closed on her residency and she wouldn't have had to be on the road. She would have never had to have been on the road, which this accident would have never happened because it would have been a different time, different process, different circumstance, different universal law. Had she been here in Vegas doing her residency, thus she would still be here. These things would have never happened. That's my belief, okay? So Angie did not want to be on the road touring, and that's a fact. Now, I'm not telling you something I heard from YouTube. I'm not telling you something that I went on another blogger's page and I found, and I decided to share this. No, I'm telling you something from the circle, from the inside, from the group that was representing her. So when she say Diesel crew, she was talking about her West Coast crew, she was talking about us. We were the ones that came on and discovered, and we were ones that told her that none of these songs were in her name. We were the ones that told her that the publishing was somewhere else. You know what I mean? And we had various calls with people that were involved with her on the legal side of things, and people that were involved with her on the publishing side of things. And she made me record these phone calls, you guys. She would call me and say, Stoney, I'm going to call you back. Because we would call each other Stoney. I would call her Stoney. She called me Stoney. It's a nickname she made up for me. We just call each other Stoney, right? She said, that's our inside thing. So she would call me and she said, Stoney, I'm going to call you, but I want you to record this phone call. So I have phone calls, recorded phone calls with conversations about her publishing that she had with certain industry people and some of her legal people. I have those recorded calls. Now, will I ever post those calls? Absolutely not. Because those calls were strictly for Angie.
Why are you talking about it?
Not for anybody to hear. Period. I would never post those phone calls, just so you guys know. But I do have those calls, right? We also did a agreement with Angie to be able to go after her publishing and collect the TBC group. We have an agreement, signed agreement to represent her and to go out and collect all of that publishing for her. So that's my involvement. The only reason I got on camera and I'm doing this is because so many people have inboxed me from my YouTube video and the TikTok video, and they're saying, hey, man, I heard Angie mention your name. Like, what's your involvement with her? I heard her say Stone Paxton. And so many people are asking me, I said, you know what? I wasn't going to do a video, but let me get on here and just tell people what our involvement was. Now, as far as that accident, I know a lot about that. And I'm not going to talk about that right now, but trust and believe, I'm definitely going to talk about that. And I'm going to share some things with you, but I'm not going to talk now. And this is my truth, because I know about certain things, because I was privy for being involved in the circle and helping her gain her publishing back and find where her songs were and help her get her catalog back. I was a part of that team. I've been a part of that team, helping her do that. So that's how my name got brought into the equation, as far as just Angie mentioning my Diesel crew, and she's mentioning Stone Paxton and my big brother Basal and the TBC group. That's why she mentioned our names, because we were helping her. We were helping Angie. And I would talk to Angie 3 or 4 days a week in long hours when I talked to her. These weren't short phone calls. These weren't 1 minute phone calls. These were typically anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hour calls, conversations with Angie, talking about her business and the publishing, and she was very upset about so many people that had taken her songs and taken credit for it, never gave.
We know about all of this. We know about the industry. It's like this been going on for so long that it's crazy that it still goes on. There's no way that other people should be speaking up in the music industry about this lady, in my opinion. It's like, y'all saying it, but it definitely needs to be class action lawsuits going against them for everybody they did wrong.
Credit. We have conversations about all kinds of stuff, even text conversations I could post. I would never post my personal text conversations with her, but we have tons of back and forth text conversations about tons of things, music industry,
It's something going on,
topics.
right?
You know what I mean? Tons of things.
But check it. The people who we have in suspicion, we know the truck driver ran her over, but we feel like he got put on to do the job. Somebody positioned her right there for her to get ran over. And then it was the 9 people who was on the bus, right? So when we think about the 9 people on the bus, we got to think about, the gang that she was in. So check this out.
Not so fast, huh?
Tell me it looks
So
worse
this
than
is
it
her
is. It looks worse.
entertained.
Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life and made it possible for us to be here, all clergy present. Good afternoon. Distinguished guests, family, friends, and loved ones. My name is Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant, International President and CEO of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
CEO.
It is with great humility and deep respect that I stand before you today representing an extraordinary 105-year-old organization with over 900 chapters in 12 countries across the world, women who selflessly give their time and talents to provide world-class service. We are gathered here in the spirit of unity to honor and celebrate the life of our dear soror, whose impact rippled far beyond her immediate reach, a life lived with purpose, passion, and love.
This was this lady's superior. So I'm not saying this could have happened, but what I'm saying is, if anything got to go through that organization, it's gonna go through her. And that's how it's like a chain of command that they got going on. This is the big dog, though.
Today is a transformational reflection of her legacy. Let us remember the values she embodied and the light and the soulful vibration she brought to this world.
Watch what
In
she
our
say, though,
organization,
y'all.
we strive for excellence, lifting others while we climb and creating meaningful change. In that same spirit, we come together today to support one another, to comfort, and to celebrate a life well lived. On behalf of this global sisterhood, I extend my deepest condolences to the family and friends gathered here, and I thank you for joining us for our Zeta burial service in honor of our beloved soror, the Angela Laverne Stone. Madam International Vice President Gina.
Now, I think they got something to do with it now. This is just allegedly. I think for them to for all of this to happen, it had to be some kind of group that had to play a role, in my opinion, to connect the white people, the truck driver and the lady who got out to sit there. Now, this is just my opinion, allegedly. But I feel like this group played a part with the 9 people that was in the Sprinter van. Right?
Thank you, Madam Graham. Sorors, at this time, we will have the roll call of our honorary member chapter, Alpha Omega chapter. For any members that are here, as you hear your name called, please respond only with present. I will stand in and answer for those members who are not present. Madam Vice Director of our honorary member program, Sora Tanita Harris-Lagans, please call the roll.
Move from the left to the right.
Tatiana Ali.
To down.
Patrice Banks. The Honorable Regina Ashford Barrow. Rona Bennett. Jasmine Booth. Brigadier General Felicia Brokaw. Dr. Lori Jean Carter. Elaine P. Clark Doerr. Caretha Coleman. Lieutenant General Talita Crossland. Edna Cummings. Jerika Duncan. Wanda Durant.
About them is foul.
Linda Spradley Dunn. The Honorable Donna F. Edwards. Rear Admiral Evelyn J. Fields. Vivica Fox. Anita Hill Esquire. Andrea Hunley. Lucianne Hurston. Cynthia James. Leela James. Jennifer Joseph. Maima Karma. Shaka Khan. Winona Kidd. Dawn Lewis. Nikki Michelle.
It's like, why they even had
Angel
to come
McCautry,
out here to the, you know what I'm saying?
Dawn Morton Riaz. Ann Nesby.
I'm with you, Mickey.
Samia Nkrumah.
They wanted
Elizabeth
to get some
Omilani.
some spotlight.
Archbishop Mary Floyd Palmer. Chrisette Michelle Payne. Tina Rodriguez.
Data brokers are selling.
Said it sounded like a
private
sorority
information.
sacrifice,
And in the wrong
right?
hands, that
I
information
just
can
feel
lead
like
to
It's funny business.
Melinda Santiago, Perry Shakes Drayton, Ashley Sharpton,
You see, she the only
Dominique
one with the.
Sharpton, Dr. Linda Singh, Dr. Marlena Smalls, Angela Laverne Stone.
They're gonna say how long she's been in the sorority too. Y'all gotta listen to what they say. Like it's deep. They giving you all the game.
May we sing as a tribute to our soror Angela Laverne Stone, the first stanza and chorus of our national hymn. Brethren, hearts we pray, for you say each day. You always stood for the right, rather than for the might. We will love you ever and forsake you.
So if you in the Divine Nine,
when Satan calls,
your whole gang gotta come to the funeral. They praise death like no other.
Phi Beta, we love you so. Your very names, our hearts aglow.
Basically, they praising to the organization, really.
Let us recite our national prayer.
Y'all
O
hear this?
Lord, our heavenly Father, we come to thank thee for the blessings thou hast bestowed upon us. We ask thee to be our shield of protection and to make our lives such that they may be examples for others to follow. Help us at all times to be kind and honest and to do those things which are pleasing in thy sight. All these things we ask in thy name. Amen. Madam Vice President,
Now
we will
listen.
continue the roll call.
These the top 3 women in the group. So it had to go through. If they know about
Congresswoman
it.
Rashida Tlaib, Deborah Vines, Dionne Warwick,
They got a
Yolanda
congresswoman.
Whitaker, Treva Williams, Anita Wilson, Rosalind Young Daniels, Representative Regina
Watch
Young.
this.
Thank you so much for having us here today. We are so blessed to be members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and even more blessed to count Angie Stone as one of the finer members of this sorority. To just reflect briefly on 3 things about our soror Stone. The first thing that I remember is when she was inducted at our international conference in July of 2024 in Indianapolis. When she came onto the stage, was her honest and sincere smile.
July of 2024, bro. She just became this. She don't know what's going on. They just signed her up for this. Salute, Tania. Appreciate you tapping in. She just became. Hold on. Let me let y'all hear that again so y'all don't think I'm crazy, man. Listen to what the lady said.
Before in Indianapolis, when she came onto the stage, was her honest and sincere.
Hold on. Check this out.
Just reflect briefly on 3 things about our soror Stone. The first thing that I remember is when she was inducted at our international conference in July of 2024 in Indianapolis. When she came onto the stage, was her honest and sincere smile. And I just caught her eye when she came on. Her smile was amazing. Soror Nick Boston, who is so close to her, was the one that brought her to our organization. And she said to us that Angie said to her, I was just waiting for you to ask. And we are so glad that you did. And finally, in the moment after before they were inducted, our vice director shared with me that when she was with the rest of her class, she was the one that told them that this was destined to be, that her membership in Zeta Phi Beta was destined to be. And we are so glad that she joined us and hit the ground running. Soror Stone, we love you. Rest in heaven, and we look forward to seeing you again when God says that it is time.
And our resolution for our soror, Angela Laverne Stone, abbreviated. Whereas soror Angela Laverne Stone became a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Alpha Omega Chapter on July 27, 2024, at our International Grand Boulay in Indianapolis, Indiana. She was immediately loved by her sorors. She was a singer, songwriter, actress, record producer, 3 times.
Hold on. So now let's take a look at the date, y'all. July 27, 2024. What's July? June, July. So that's 7. What she said, 27, 24. You know, because these numbers be meaning something, but that 7 is something, right? We know 2 and 7 is 9. I thought it would have been 9 months since she got inducted. How many months is it? 7? July till she died. If that number was 9, that'll be spooky. But I think it's 7.
Grammy nominee, pioneer of rap music, renowned for her
So 7 months
contributions
later,
to R&B and neo soul. Sora
salute,
Stone was
Avatar.
committed to serving the community as
Tapping in.
demonstrated in her membership for Faith and the work she did with Angel Stripes. Whereas Sora Stone was elected for membership based on her passion for community service and the alignment of her work with many Zeta initiatives, including social action, domestic violence awareness, elder care, and Storks Fest. Therefore, be it resolved that the members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated honor the life of our soror, Sora Angela L. Stone. We are grateful for her life, her sisterly love, and legacy. Be it further resolved on this date, the 14th of March in the year 2025, that a copy of this resolution shall be provided to the family for our beloved triumphant Sora Angie Stone. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Submitted
24
by myself,
total
Dr.
for the
Stacey
date
Easy Grant,
numerology.
International President, and our International Sisterhood.
24. 2 and
Madam
4,
Director,
6.
please
Y'all know
lead us in the response.
she was 63 when she died. 24
Sleep,
and
beloved
42
soror.
means something. Yeah.
To you we say, we have no tune to charm away sad dreams that through the eyelids creep,
They had
but
something to
never
do with it.
doleful dream again. She'll break
This is
the
what I'm
happy
saying.
slumber. He
She
giveth
wasn't
his
a-
beloved sleep.
She wasn't in there for long enough. My
O
point.
earth, so full of dreary
They don't
noises.
even know her,
O
bruh.
men with wailing in your voices. O dwell the gold the whirlers weep. O
My
strife,
point is, they
O
don't
curse
even know
that
her.
o'er it fall. God struck a silence through you all and gave to our beloved sleep.
But they having this whole ceremony at her
It seems my
at her
soror
funeral.
speaks to me. She tells me
That's probably how
that
they
this
do
has to
business.
be. Around her bier, she says, don't weep. He's given our beloved sleep.
They about to close out.
I authorize Madam International Vice President Epps to delete from the roll of active members Sora Angela Laverne Stone, and in the presence of sorors here today, place her name among the honored dead. She has left Alpha Omega chapter to join our triumphant Zetas, where we shall all one day
Honored
meet in the
dead.
great boule that
That
shall
don't
never
sound
end.
right.
Peace to her remains and felicity to her soul. Madam, first, please read our final song.
7, 2,
With
7,
saddened hearts we mourn
2.
our sorors going home.
Damn.
She always held the light of Zeta high and bright. We will miss her ever, but forget her never. Then
So y'all, the point of this, man, showing the secret group that's there, TBZ, that's crazy, them numbers. It was a dude on YouTube, I forgot his name. It was called Geometry, something. I used to watch him. He used to put together the numbers like that. But these sorority groups, that head person that y'all see with that white band on, that white with the Zelta on it, they be running stuff like the president. Like they only stay in office for like 4 years. I looked up like how long they stay, and it's kind of similar to the president of the United States. And they got a vice president, and they got all of these people set up. So if anything, it had to go through her up top. I think she knows about it. The money came through her. She had to set the sorority sisters up, in my opinion, just to make everything happen. But now I'm gonna show y'all this, right? We went into the sororities. Yeah, that's 727. You seeing all of that add up to 24? 24 means something because 2, 4 is 6. Yeah, anytime it ends with 6, 6 and 9, it's crazy. But let's check out this one. Y'all know I like to give it to well, you know what? Let me open up the lines for y'all, man, so we can call in about this. I want to know what y'all think about this. by Angie Stone, and I'm gonna let a little bit of Steve Coakley. What we got? It's a cold world. Do y'all know about that white boy? It was a white boy that used to uncover. It was a minute ago since I watched him. It was called Gematria or something like that. Gematria. And he used to expose like Hollywood death. Gematria. I don't know if y'all know about that. But Gematria effect, that's him. He used to talk about black people, like all of the black people that die. I don't know if he still do it, but I don't know if y'all ever heard about him. But he used to be. I used to check him out sometimes. All a part of the setup. I got somebody calling in 864. That look like Florida, man.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's good? You calling Water God TV, man? What's good?
What's up, Water?
What's good with you, brother?
Well, yeah, Water, this calling, thank you for having me on this evening.
For real,
and,
I appreciate you.
I seen what you were just talking about, that gematria.
Yeah.
I see when I was younger, I always, worry about like, well, everybody be dying and stuff. So, the more I start looking into it, then I start finding them YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually I came across, I know who you talking about. You talking about that Zach K. Hubbard dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the dude I thought he was a black dude called Kinfolk. That's what he called himself on YouTube.
Oh, he do the same thing like old boy.
Man, his whole channel is like, he got, like Mo 3, he got Takeoff, he got, like Queen Elizabeth.
No.
Like all of them, like by the number, like, yeah. His name, Call Me Kinfolk on YouTube. Like,
Call Me Kinfolk.
Look him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up.
He got everything. You gonna? Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look him up, man. So what you think? Look, what you think about Angie Stone? How you think that happened? How you think it played out? You think the Zelta had something to do with it? Call Me Kinfolk.
Yeah, because we got to think about it. Like, okay, it's a wreck. Everybody knows it's a wreck because it's a turned van over on the side of the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would an 18-wheeler all of a sudden just run her over? Like, it should see like it's a van turned over and everybody outside of their car trying to.
Mm-hmm.
So what would possess somebody driving in the 18-wheeler to say, okay, well, I'm gonna go and plow through that.
That's all.
And then we seen the white lady. She's the one who was talking about how she was brushed by the 18-wheeler. And it was like, if it wasn't been for her, we would never have known anything about it.
Right. That's what I'm saying, man. And the white lady, it was a white lady and a white man. The man who they said who rolled actually Angie Stone over was a white man. And the lady who helped out the car was a white woman. Not to say race got anything to do with it, but it just seemed weird. Yeah.
And then it's like, then we don't know nothing about the man. It's like he don't even exist. Like, they just randomly, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'd be able to find something about, like, the man. You like the Unabomber, but that nigga had manifestos and all that. But you mean tell me we can't even find out this nigga mama name or if he got kids or not, or where he went to school at? Like, that's easy. That should be easy to find.
Easy to find. That's what I'm saying. So we know he's some kind of person they got in their pocket where they try to keep him, private.
You ever heard of Hitman, like the game?
Yeah, I heard of that.
So, like, his name Agent 47, right?
Yeah.
So, in gematria, the word agent equal 47.
We was just talking about that.
So that's
that
why
47 word.
Yeah. So, and then Kinfolk, he be having like the list of some of the words, like the number 113. That's like the number for dishonesty. So like the government equal 113, Democrat equal 113, all that like it's crazy.
Yeah, man. We gotta see. We don't know about all that they thing, but we gotta start checking out. I'm gonna start checking out them boys on my channel. Call me Kinfolk. Yeah, cause they know it. They know how to do it.
They got plenty of videos, and he the bitch. I could know he a genuine dude because I done literally see this man grow from nothing. Like he was buying promos on other dudes' YouTube channel. That's how I found out about it. He was buying promos on my YouTube channel.
Right. I just looked him up. Yeah.
You see how
he don't drop too much content. So I'm like, dang, he ain't dropped nothing new. I want him to drop something on Angie Stone.
I know. It's like he been going through something recently. I think they're trying to get to him because he ain't been uploading it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Man. So I'm gonna check him out. I'm definitely gonna check him out. But I'm glad y'all knew who I was talking about. Y'all burned it right. Zachary Hubbard.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's him.
Oh yeah. Because he the one who Kinfolk was taught him about it.
Right, yeah, and I remember that black dude because I remember it was a black dude he used to always call up, and that's him. Okay, I know now. I know. Yeah. So Zach kind of put me on to this, really, way back when, for real.
Yeah, he's a legend around these streets.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, dang, go ahead.
Gangs in it?
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
No, you were finna say something.
They be coding like games and stuff too.
Oh, he be coding the video game.
Like football.
Oh, like the football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big too.
But they be on their Patreon.
Yeah,
I don't got that shit, but
you can't be I know, because you can't be too crazy on here, man. I'm trying to holler at Introvert Rockstar and get him kind of, because we be on here crazy and they be watching. I know they be watching us like, man, it's getting kind of flooded on these YouTube streets about them.
That's good though, because they mean they scared of it. They mean they feel it.
Yep, for real.
That mean y'all putting in work.
We putting in that work for them. So I don't know how they gonna get out of this Angie Stone. They need to give her money. It's like it's robbery right now, to me, until they straighten her money. What you think?
And especially like I was hearing all the people she was like making music for.
Yeah.
Like she made music for literally everybody. She should have had that check.
She should have that check. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know how she didn't get her money, but man, we're gonna keep pushing for. I'm gonna keep pushing for on this channel, but brother, go ahead and land your plane, man, so we can get somebody else to tap in. But I appreciate you for calling in. But go ahead and land your plane, man. Let us know where you calling out of.
I'm calling out South Carolina.
South Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina holding it down. But go ahead and land it, man. And we're gonna catch you on the call in anytime. We want to hear your opinion about this stuff.
I appreciate you, Walter.
For real.
But thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to speak. And I'm gonna be in the chat holding it down.
Holding it down, for real, man. We'll appreciate you, bro. So we're gonna catch you on the next one, man. Stay in the chat for it.
Salute, Walter.
All right, bro. Salute. All right, y'all. I like what he said in that, man. With the so I'm gonna start playing these guys. Oh, you said Black Mirror's TV too? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna start playing these guys too. Them flowers shaped like a devil head casket. Would be in mouth, 2 ears on the stage. Am I tripping? Let me see. Oh, you talking about the flowers in there? Man, listen, you ain't tripping, because anytime you sign with that satanic group, you gonna get all type of images that she probably wasn't even aware of what's going on. So I do see the imagery, and it looked like some horns on there, but I know it's in there. We know it's in there. But let's get a little bit of this numbers of I tried to tap into y'all boy. What's his name? Y'all just told me about old boy. But I couldn't find he ain't do nothing recent. But I did find a video Y'all saying for he did do something a month ago on the gematria. But I did see Zach did something too, a little bit more recent. So I want to just show a little bit of that, man. Show a little bit of the numbers so we can get a good going on those numbers. He put his name on it too, so he know where to find them. So I ain't watched this guy in so long, but check it. This is I'm gonna put he going over some of the numbers here. Before I get into I want to get in a little bit of Steve Coakley, man. Number one hero. But check this out. This is from our boy, not our boy, but the guy y'all put it on. What's his name? Zach Hubbard. Let's get it.
The recent debates with Jim Baum and Andrew Wilson were big L's for both of them, and largely everyone who watched the debates, because both of them
You
were
got
unworthy
BM phone number?
opponents who could not make any credible argument and had to result in insults and downplaying undeniable information. Ironically, both of those debates came about due to Gary, the numbers guy, facing off against Andrew Wilson on the Fresh and Fit podcast. And Gary did not do very well in that debate. And he let, the mental midget Andrew Wilson beat him. And that's because Gary's also not very smart. And if you read the comment section for that, Gary was getting absolutely trashed. And people were leaving comments like Andrew should debate Zachary K. Hubbard because he's a lot smarter and he's going to struggle with that debate. And everyone just saw Andrew struggle. He had to resort to lies and straw men and downplaying the truth and trying to dismiss the truth, like how he lied about the jab schedule, like how he lied about revelation not meaning apocalypse in the translation, and everything else he did. He looked like a complete joke, and that's why he took down the video from his own channel, ASAP. If you search for our debate, you'll see there's already a number of people who are viewing the debate. And not everyone's fond of me, but pretty much everyone says that Andrew looks like he's not nearly as smart as he thinks he is. And he had to resort to downplaying
so they're trying to.
And that's all he had. There's not any reviews out there, no matter how much people don't like me, that are favorable of Andrew Wilson. That was not the case when he debated Gary. Everyone thought he stomped on Gary. And I wouldn't say that he did stomp on Gary as much as the critics did. I saw the merit to Gary's opening statement.
Gonna hit a few of this. I ain't hear him in a while.
But Gary is not a very smart guy, and that's why he's also been absolutely crushed in the past.
I want to hear him go. Let me hear what's.
I don't know how Gary's fame in the world has increased over the years because there's nothing to his resume other than mostly embarrassment. But somehow he's become connected to the YouTube factions of the world, including the Fresh and Fit podcast. I don't know how these things come to be. It's completely undeserved. Recently, I challenged Gary to a debate, and the very next day, my Twitter account was taken down, which he took credit for, and maybe he did take it down. I don't know how he did that, but he does. He is connected to some kind of powerful forces. He's been to the White House. He stood behind Trump at his rally. Gary weighed in on the debate, and here's Gary's remark.
I like
totally
black.
Disingenuous
I like
he said,
Black
Zachary
Mirror.
K. Hubbard is a fraud, which is not true. Gary is a legitimate fraud, and that can be proven, and that's why we should be debating. But we'll see who the fraud is. It's going to be you, Gary. Spoiler, it's going to be you.
Now, hold on, y'all. Let me put y'all on Black Mirror. He seemed like he FBA. So, let me, T-Beezy was shouting him out heavy. Even though Zach Hubbard is the OG to it, but Black Mirrors that's the brother doing it. So let me check out some of what his gematria is. Look like he only go live, huh? So let's look at. I want to look at the numbers. Let's check them out. I'm gonna check out his. Let's check out his last video. family should sue the truck company along with the music exec. For real. I want them to do a video on this because I want them to see. I want to see what numbers they break down. We'll check it out, y'all. Let's get it. They got us on the wait.
Emoji down in the live chat. That being said, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. We finna be breaking down YFN Lucci. Now let's go ahead and get into this video, man, so y'all can enjoy y'all night. Now, I just wanted to point out a few things, okay, because we will be doing a occult signs and symbols, of course. I was gonna do it right here and right now, but I got so many photos backed up on the StreamYard to where I couldn't upload them all, right? But
yeah, they should sue.
You see the red background. What does this show me? Well, it shows me that he has put in his rituals. You know he beefing with Young Thug, right? And it just seems to be this common thing that these folks in the South are into witchcraft, cutting up animals and doing.
I think it's the whole music industry.
That just seems to be the norm, right? Now, with that being said, whenever you see this display of red in their background or in their music video or on their clothing, right? Or on their mixtapes or albums or whatever, just know that they put in that blood ritual, right? It could even be so much as them
Zach Herbert, the great,
themselves to release the red fluid to conjure up demons so that they can then cast these spells upon themselves to attach the demon to them, right? Because you have some people like Tyga who will say, I always keep 4 demons with me at all times. How do you think he does that? He can't just go in a dark room inside of a pentagram and sit inside of a pentagram and then say these demons' names, think that they just don't come. No, it don't work like that. There's stuff you have to do and involve in order for that to happen, like release the red fluid and a number of other things that I won't be getting into, because people, they like to watch these videos and try to stuff out. You're not finna get me caught up in your madness and say, oh, I got this attached to me because Black Mirror said this is how you do it. Aha. Too slow. You gotta be faster than that. Now, moving on. I done showed y'all this countless times, right? I done showed y'all time after time after time that when you see,
I'm gonna open up the lines, y'all.
Exposed, like if they
checkerboard floors,
and it's halfway on them.
Cat, there's too many things that's not adding up.
That's Freemasonic in nature.
Yeah.
Do you need me to show you why that's Freemasonic in nature? Well, I'll be happy to tell you, because this is the entered apprentice occult symbology behind that. Okay? This is what that represents. I'm not saying that he's a first entry level.
I don't see the pants leg up.
He's been in the game for a little while.
Yeah, Cool J is doing that.
Shed blood. He's also, I believe,
pants leg up.
One of his own friends, and we're gonna get into that just in a minute with the gematria breakdown. But when you do so much dirt in the streets and within your Freemasonic lodge, you move up. It's like in any crime syndicate organization, right? Now, with that being said, let's move on. Now, he also has this animal print, leopard print, if you will. I'm just trying to get y'all to see the resemblance of everyone else we have broken down thus far. I'm trying to get you to see the same pattern each and every time with each and every breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a common thing. So a breakdown on him as far as the occult signs and symbols is very much necessary. Now let's go ahead and get into this gematria breakdown. Right here is where we're going to be reading this.
All right, y'all. We're just gonna see this gematria breakdown.
Article.
Tap into Steve Cole.
It's not even an article. It's just about how he was arrested. Okay, now in
I want
January
to see how they get the numbers.
Lucci was arrested in connection with a murder case in 2021 He was arrested again on a RICO charge. He pleaded guilty to one count of violating the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. How he was released. Lucci was granted early release on parole, right? On parole. He was released from the Bureau's Correctional Training Facility in Forsyth, Georgia. He was greeted by his family and creative team. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when he got out, he was looking a little crazy. He did have dreads at a point in time when he was locked up. He was definitely still on drugs. It wasn't like he wasn't living like he was still in the free world behind bars. I mean, come on, when you're a celebrity and you got money and you got people sending you money and this, that, and the third,
Steve
you
Coakley
can't
gonna break it
get
down.
stuff behind bars. Okay. Now, his plans after release, we all know he's gonna be back on the bullshit. We don't even need to read that because they get out and they say these things and put out songs like NBA YoungBoy did and said, "We need to stop the violence." But then the very next song he comes out with is complete bullshit, ratchet, turn up, shake your ass, pop your coochie.
Straight up. Y'all now check this out with Steve, your boy Steve Coakley, right? He talks about Tupac, Biggie, and Stanford, right? Right after this, he got real sick, real ill. But check this out. It's probably one of the realest conversations he had. But check out what Steve Coakley was on when he talked about Biggie and Tupac. Check this out.
And a flyer went out yesterday saying that we'll have a program here tomorrow, Wednesday night. And one of the ways that
That's dope.
And so we need to talk about that, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Two is, we left off last week right in the middle of discussion about Tupac and Biggie. And there was footage that we were looking at, one piece in particular from Las Vegas, where we looked at one of the witnesses who alleged to have a seen perpetrator who we saw subsequent to that was assassinated, I think about 6 days later. And
that's crazy. I gotta go over that Avatar.
Raise the question as
That's
to how
crazy.
it can be. And there's several things about this we want to share. I want to go back to that spot. In fact, here's Tupac and Biggie together during the period when they were together. And I want to take this tape back to the Vegas Strip, moments after Tupac was shot. And this witness is trying to talk to the police. The police are unsettled by the witness. And this commotion eventually, and fingering, eventually led to the potential witness being assassinated. Then we're going to go up to the night Biggie was shot. And we're going to look at something happening around the car. We're going to look at the press conference where they describe the description of the shooter. Then we're going to look around the edges of the car at some reactions going around the car, and it's instantaneous. Yeah. If you ain't watching it carefully, you wouldn't notice what was going on around the camera. And then I brought some footage from what'll almost be a month from now.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Kat, because the driver that was in Angie Stone's van, he had a lot of charges. So it's like I told y'all in that Charts and White video, when you go to jail and you commit crimes and you in jail, they get these people and they are able to use these people out in the real world. Like if they work with them, they're able to use the same guys for other plays. So I think he has this long track record because he's selected. He got selected to do that kind of job. And they know he gonna keep it solid because they got something where they could just send him to jail anyway.
what would this be? What's that, 94? The 94, this would be the third anniversary. This will be the third anniversary, 30 days from now about. Is it 94? Is that correct? 94? 94. This will be the third anniversary of a terrorist action transacted against Brother Khalid Muhammad. And I'm sure many of you all saw, I was a little late tonight watching Fujimori, who was a Japanese transplant who moved to Peru on the orders of the Rockefeller family. And even though he didn't even live in Peru, they elected him the head of Peru. And the first thing he did was to crack down on the little people in Peru and enacted martial law. A man, a foreign man, became the head of a country. Though he was Japanese, he became the head of Peru. And of course, Shining Path and the other organization, Tupac Amaru. There we go. Tupac Amaru. The 15 members allegedly who were in the compound since December 17th allegedly were assassinated. Japan is on edge because the militaristic act against Japan only makes it vulnerable to retaliation. No one wants to deal with someone in a way that they will get dealt back that way. You choose your terms of endearment. And if someone goes to the sword, then it's guaranteed that they would get the sword. That's why I raised questions about the Black community who would repudiate its own militants, knowing that if they don't have the sword, or they don't have the power, or they don't have the will to be the fighters, why would they want a team of bloomer girls? Why would they want a team of religious leaders? Why would they want a team of balloon blowers and not want a militant team along with all those other things that somebody might, a team of swords, a team of streetwashers, a team of clothes repairs? Why would you not want a militant operation as well? This is a 20th century quirk. It took 100 years to get a community to believe that it didn't need a military. It took 100 years to convince us that to deal with the white man, we need absolutely nothing to work with. We don't need any think tanks. We don't need any research. We don't even need debate. We don't even need open discussion. Because the relationship with the white man 100 years since then has evolved in a way that only butt naked do we feel that we have the honor and the respect to stand before a white man and advance our race. And of course, there aren't many weapons you can hold butt naked. Don't forget on Saturday at 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in Baltimore, Reality is going to speak on Reality Speaks, who are holding a conference on COINTELPRO with myself and an ex-FBI agent who, in spite of hearing everything about COINTELPRO, still joined the shit. So we're going to act like he's really so in awe and so against COINTELPRO that he can still go and be employed by the same people. Butt naked in the FBI was the name of his book called Eyes of My Soul, Butt Naked. You all know I challenged this man who went to New York and spoke before Lambe Braff's organization and excited the crowd about being anti-Louis Farrakhan and how the FBI don't monitor Farrakhan because he don't do nothing. And then we know that the formula of intelligence is what? What is the component? What is the formula of all intelligence probability scales? Brother Robert.
Capability.
Strike.
Intent plus capability. Equals threat.
Intentions plus capability equals threat. Now let's go back to 93 and 94 and look at the dawning and the coming strong of Khalid Muhammad and Brother Malik and the Unity Nation, and the whole DC was on fire. DC probably was not as on fire as it had been since the peace demonstrations of the 60s when they had Operation Merrimack, which was to stop Negroes from drifting downtown and inhibiting business in Washington, D.C. Operation Merrimack, it scored all over the town to sort out anything that went that way.
Operation Merrimack. So y'all hear what he's saying? They had late in the 60s. This is when they had all of these acts, all of this stuff that they was gonna keep blacks away from success. So we're not hearing of that no more because they were so successful in the 60s. Check this out.
And you remember the student protest of 1993, the taking over the administration building, the fighting to keep Atwater off the board of trustees. At that time, there was even a NEA force, which didn't last either. It could not sustain itself, even though the enemy only got stronger. And then something happened in D.C., but intentions make change. Capability, people coming by the thousands, equal a greater threat. A greater threat. And this is now an uncontrollable threat. This is a threat that don't owe nobody no secret out of no past assassinations. If you owe somebody out some old paperwork, it's not likely that you're going to be a high threat because only they know that you don't have the teeth that you borrowed from because you sold it away in a previous encounter. So intentions plus capability equal threat is a real deal. A loose-knit, freewheeling, take no hostages operation that respects no enemy.
Check.
See, we got a problem. We respect the enemy.
That's right.
Yep.
Last night, even
We
though they're being
respect
victimized like a dog, it wasn't 15 Howard students at a program for their benefit.
That's right. Check.
That's a scary thing. In fact, as Colin said, Malik said, and I agree, they were afraid to be there.
That's right.
That the cost was accessible, amenable. You couldn't have had a better relationships. Opportunity right around the corner from the campus, the biggest, closest building we can get to.
That's right.
Then the white boys are right around the corner tonight at the other location, and I think much of that police brutality has much to do with the stadium coming down the street, National Public Radio, headquarters down the street, and all these other things that are moving in this way. So the threat potential is high. And under that circumstance, the build-up came, the building up, the playing up, the magnification, the over-magnification to the point that someone would say, I believe it was Jesse Jackson, well, you know, sometimes when you talk a certain way, you got things coming. Sort of type of thing of, you know, you reap what you sow, dog. As if the seeds that he sowed won't come to his doorstep, another man sealed with paperwork from a previous assassination. Dangling on him like the Malcolm X movie could have dangled on others. The dangle wilts the threat potential. The dangle. I told you, something was wrong. We got an indicator when Winnie Mandela couldn't speak. And you all know it was right in this room, the night before the second Million Man March. I said, the only thing I got to look for, I didn't know Brother Colin was going to get to speak, but the only thing I had to look forward to was to hear her cut loose. Right. Because I felt that the other voices had already been tamed.
That's right.
But then in front of 300,000 supporters, some mysterious instructions. See, we got this bad habit. We can take instructions from nowhere. Instruction. We got to leave the room. College, your lecture is over. People got up, say we got to go. It's 6 o'clock or something. We got to move outside. People start moving outside. So where this come from? I don't know. Somebody handed it to me. Who gave it to you? Somebody gave it to me. Get to passing it long enough, no one will question where it came from. Mysterious instructions saying she can't speak. I mean, what they gonna do? I thought that the greatest thing in the world would have been for Mandela to have to be seen as locking up his woman and letting the assassins of Steve Biko go with amnesty. We needed to see that. They needed to push it to that. But you know what? These ain't protesters.
No, sir.
See, if you're a protester, you push it. I appreciate Brother Malik say, I'm gonna go on the campus, I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna go to the Holocaust Museum, I'm gonna push it. Push it. And the pushing, people say, oh, I like that. And they flooded the Crampton Auditorium.
That's right.
They saw something that's buried deep inside of them, but they eat shit every day when they don't think they ain't got enough supporters to go forward. People eat shit.
That's right.
And so the operation that cuts the shit makes a threat to the opposition. So the build up. And it's happened in multiple situations. Even the East Coast, West Coast rivalry was a build-up. Right. This was a secondary plan for the Bloods versus the Crips thing that got smothered over by the young men who, I remember I was in LA when they all went to the park and they put the tanks up there. They tried to provoke them into fight. They had a picnic together. And I forget what the park was out there. Brother Collins, they all had a picnic and the fans and
Dang, so he basically saying that they tried to pretty much instigate us from the start, just trying to make a war inside, funding two wars. Remember how they used to say they always doing that? Funding both sides of the war.
Still police chief then, they were incensed. They tried to propagate this thing into something to keep them from laying to rest disagreements. Then that brought us to the other question about what role does rap play in Black liberation? And I have had to say that up until this point, in '92, we did the lecture, The Attack on Rap and Other Black Youth. And in that lecture, I had schemed that this manifestation of young Black men who were creating their own music with limited overhead, scratch, 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 scratch. That's limited overhead. That's why I'm so hot on these athletes, because again, if you are Dennis Rodman or Michael Jordan, you don't need to build a factory. You don't need to pay workers. You ain't got unemployment insurance on your $1 million or $2 million that you're worth. These are men who ain't got nothing but gym shoes free, gym shorts, jock straps, t-shirts, limited overhead operation. Now you got 5, 10, 30 million with nothing to have to pay but your house note. So your money might be greater than another man who might be worth 3 million, but got 60 employees and anything can happen to him at any minute. So we've got this misappropriated consumption. So now we have, remember it went through with the public enemy thing over Professor Griff and Chuck D and Jewish people.
There you go.
And Denton Carr, who was head of CBS, who jerked them in. They had Public Enemy didn't get paid by album number 1, didn't get paid by album number 2. They were in court fighting with CBS to get the money. It was about $275,000 per person online. And all they kept doing was dangling it. Well, you know, we still got to go over to the court. Well, okay, so we'll wait, we'll hold. And they just had a reunion conference,
So y'all heard what he said? Public Enemy wasn't even getting, like, they was dangling their money over their head, not paying these guys. So then gangster rap came out, and they getting big money.
A couple of weeks ago in New York, Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden with KRS-One, Public Enemy, and DNC, right? And they even brought Grip up with Public Enemy. So it's taken all these years to recover from the initial attack. And then we went in '94 and did it again. This was during the Sister Soldier crisis when Russell Boyd Clinton pulled Sister Soldier out like a prop at the Jesse Jackson conference on a 4-minute speech about she was at war with white people. And made her renounce that she didn't really mean that.
Sure did.
And you know they had a secret press conference. They tried to have a secret press conference right over here in the auditorium of the Blackburn Center. They came in and told me Sister Soldier got a secret press conference tomorrow. And I said, why would we want her to meet in secret with whites? And I told the audience that night, and everybody showed up the next day. They had a huge press conference, and it protected her. So that when they asked her a bad question, the audience hissed and booed in a way that they rescinded bad dialogue. Don't nobody need to be going away with no whites all alone, like they gonna solve the dilemma after the whites get through big paint and everything. They're saying that's not gonna happen. So we went through it with Sister Soldier. Sister Soldier's not even a rapper anymore. In other words, there have been casualties on the way to these casualties, but now shooting has become the last option of the hunt.
All right.
When Zig Brzezinski, we were right over here at the conspiracy to destroy black men. Zig Brzezinski, out of control, global turmoil to the 21st century. How will the white man deliver on the new federation?
Right.
He said the predominant threat to the new world order was what?
Young black men.
Young black urban males. Now, what is college factor with a young black urban male? What is Malik's factor with a young black urban male? And if it
That's why you see them trying to embrace and lift up the black woman. because the real fight is against the black male. They know that. So it's like, we don't want to get a black man no opportunities for nothing. We want to control the black woman and control the black man with these fraternities and sororities. But I can feel where he's coming from.
It has deep potential, then we needed our own intelligence analysis to have forecast the fact that we were ringing the bell in such a way that we had to take a deeper precautionary context. But then we're not necessarily all unified on the end part of the game. Opening, closing, middle. We did Revolution 101. And that was an excellent lecture you did for Reality Speaks on Revolution in Baltimore that night. Had some good science in it. Good science categories. Revolution, what you do, when you do that. You up in the lounge one night, back in the winter or something. Not too long ago, you was there, Scotty was there. I forget the area, but there was an excellent discussion about the format and categories towards unfolding an organization towards a revolution. And the bottom line is, all our end games are not the same. People do not perceive all of the same endings. We ain't never had a conference on the end of what ails us. Ain't nobody ever saw it through that far. Ain't nobody ever felt that, because when you get close enough to them, they tell you, well, you know, America will overwhelm you. How can you talk to America like that and be tax exempt? How are we going to get a grant when you're talking like that? Because what was really on the line was grant money, not honor or morality. We don't have any sacred moment for the abuser. They're supposed to get dirt, dog, knife, stab, kick, bottle rub. When do we start putting on gloves and dinging the bell after 3 minutes and sitting on a stool getting wiped off? When we start doing that? Right. Let me come back. I'm gonna come back on my big conference next month, and I'm gonna get you. It's not that. That doesn't have an end game to it. See, why don't we have an end game? See, in the end game, I just tell you simply how I see it. In a chess match, you got all sorts of players when the game starts. In the beginning of the game, you use your pawns to take control of the board. Anybody here play chess?
Yep.
Anybody play chess? If you use your pawns effectively to link them together to get control of the board the way you want to fight, your middle game will unfold about the way you want it. How would I want my middle game? I'd like to trade my rook, trade my Jesse Jackson for their Pat Buchanan. I like to trade my rooks. If I saw the opportunity to get them two off of the board, I'd take them out. Let them mutually cross each other out on crossfire one night and just push them on out the straight. Say, sorry, we cross out. We in the middle game. Mutual cross out. Mutual cross out. So in your middle game, you trade your bishop for a knight. You may even trade a rook for a bishop. An unequal trade, because what you want to do is you want to get rid of these bigger pieces now. Now you don't have a need for Jesse Jackson or the Ministerial Alliance.
Get Jesse Jackson up out of here.
The Association of Black Educators, you can trade them away. Trade them away for the white educators. Trade the black psychologists for the white psychologists. Trade the NBA for the ABA. These are lawyers now, not basketball. Trade them away. Trade the black doctors for the white doctors. Trade them away. Because ain't no revolutionary black doctor breaking down the tenets of white medicine. That's right. Ain't no revolutionary.
Get them out of here, bro.
Breaking up the legal scheme over. That's right. It ain't going on. So since ain't the profession.
Basically, what he's saying, these guys aren't revolutionary. They don't care. They're just a face. They're a black face in white supremacy place. And we don't need, it's no need. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to KG, man. He in the building. Checking in. I appreciate you for tapping in. Let me get back to him.
Aren't busting up the professions. Let's trade them off. Right. Let's just trade them away. Now we're getting late in the game. It starts to get a little foggy out. And only people connected together will have power. So he's a pawn on one row, and I'm a pawn on another row, and he's the pawn behind me. Now the three of us together, linked together, having traded off the bosses. It's bad, motherfuckers. Because eventually we will link ourselves together to the 8th row. And we'll recrown ourselves. May not want to, but only pawns linked together. And the third side of the game can win in a thought-out endgame. Pawns linked together. So now, when you get and try to figure out how are we going to deal with them and that, when we get to that, go trade them away. Wash them away. Trade them all. Give them back. Hostages, you can have them. Trade them away. So we can get to the pawns linked together. But I bet you, if you were to ask any of the professions, they will tell you that without society, they can't be professionals. Right? So they need all that we don't want just to be who they think they are. So we have to question them, the oath takers. That's how we got into the rotation of those who oath take to something that could be beyond themselves. And that we would feather these things out. It doesn't mean that they're all bad. It doesn't mean that they're not, you can't work with them. But it does mean that we have to question each other before we get to the moment when we don't have time to question each other. It's all right, you can agree or disagree with someone at any stage of the game. And to know them is the heighten of your relationship, is to know them well. Hey, you can count on me to do this, worst come to worst, consistency. I can count on you to do that, worst come to worst, consistency. We don't have to agree or disagree. We can just agree that we know each other well enough to be effective together. Shortstop, third base, leadoff man, cleanup hitter. All of them got different roles, and we just ain't really loved everything out so that everybody could do just what it is that they do to make the whole thing come about. So we're going to go back. I want to go back to this little segment of, what's that thing with Robert Stack that we showed last week? Unsolved Mysteries, which I was intrigued, even in hindsight, that they would even have time to do a Tupac. That they would recreate the Tupac. Imagine some standing out there recreating the Tupac assassination. For what reason? Questions that we raised in the past. Did Gregory raise the first one?
Assassination. So Steve Coakley know that the government assassinated Tupac and Biggie way back in the 90s. Right after this happened, he wasn't even fooled. You know how some people still think right now that was a gang fight. It was, Suge and Diddy. They don't put it to the government like Steve Coakley saying, like he was assassinated.
He said that Tupac had on a bulletproof vest that day. Of course, it's obvious when you see him in the shorter shirt that if he did, it would be an unusual form of vest that would have been able to have withstood his open armpit sleeves. The question of why were they not armed? Why would you have a bodyguard that only guarded with his body? Yeah. Hey, but one team of people do that. So, somebody asked me last night, said, well, where are the bodyguards? I said, well, you want to start some shit? The question was, well, I don't see nobody in the door. I said, that don't mean it ain't heaters in the room. So we just decided if somebody come in with the gun, they pull it out, we shoot them. Check. Now, who is the shooter? Look around. It could be any of them. So the person stepped back and said, yeah, you're right. Went on, sat down. All right. Went on, sat down. So you have to be on security like that. Check. You have what you have what they think you have. That's right. And that's always your edge. I wouldn't be surprised if them people they looking for went underground at that embassy. They talking about they all dead. They was waving the flag and doing march songs and say how they defeated the rebellion. But they might even went on. That might have been a deal to leave by the tunnels or something. They'll tell you the body's all burned up. We don't have no evidence of the 15 body. You don't never know what deals these whites cut to save face. They're in the face thing. They into the face. So to save your face, or face-saving mechanisms they use for people. You come in here and diffuse my march, I'll play you up in the press. Face-saving mechanisms, mutual interaction between enemies. Now, let's see if we can pick up this part here. Find my watch around here somewhere. See what we got here. Okay. Let's push forward here. This is BET doing some activity. And BET could be really black. I don't even want to say entertainment. But could you imagine if they was all news for 4 hours? They had the Khalid Muhammad call-in national radio open line talk show.
This is what we need to do. This is what I'm finna do.
None of these people groom constituencies, therefore they're allowed to be on the media. I mean, when Baba Malik called me up and said, man, I got a show on WPFW, and I'm going to have you on as my first guest. Then he called me back and said, I'm going to have Mark Thompson or somebody. I said, Baba, you won't last another week. Next week, he called me and said, Baba, I'm off. I ain't got no more show. I never got to be on. Took away my first show, right?
No, I was on 4 weeks.
For 4 weeks, okay. You mean I missed all of them? A skier, right, a skier Muhammad. I remember him back in the rebuilding of the nation, showing up in Chicago, being an early editor of the Final Call. Right, on the rehab. Oh, now this was something we wanted to see. We looked at this last week. This is Tupac and Snoop Doggy Dogg and Bakewell and others out in front, Hammer out in front of LA, speaking against Proposition.
And getting y'all to get out there and vote.
Of course, I don't have amplification, so it's the best we can do.
We got to get out there and vote. We got to make sure that they don't fool with all that calling things a civil rights initiative, and we know it's nothing but the 52 fake out. 209, we against 209.
We're voicing opposition over the latest proposed constitutional amendments in California.
Proposition 209 will turn back all of the gains that African American people and other people of color have made over the past 25 years.
By name, it appears to be a cause most African Americans would support. But take a closer look at California's civil rights initiative known as Prop 209, and you'd be surprised how this proposition could affect your life.
The California Civil Rights Initiative is going to end affirmative action in California. That's what it will do. It is deceptively called a civil rights initiative. But just because you call something a civil rights initiative doesn't mean it's about civil rights.
Opponents of the initiative say it's the strongest effort yet to outlaw preferences based on gender and race. It would affect all public schools, universities, government, and those lucrative government contracts.
If this proposition passes, all outreach targeted at African Americans and women and Latinos and Asian Americans
overwhelmingly. That too, when the record label's hottest selling artists have agreed to stage a concert with proceeds going to fight the initiative.
Imagine if the proceeds went to the Khalid Muhammad Freedom Fighters Institution.
Program got 3 million, and we keep going. That means we represent that many votes. If we can represent that many votes, we gotta let these politicians be scared of us.
But supporters of Prop 209 say they're ready for battle too.
Yeah, Tupac was talking.
Joining us with an up-to-the-minute report is Sergeant Greg McCurdy of the Las Vegas Police Department.
This is interesting dialogue about the witnesses.
What is the latest? Are there indeed no suspects?
Because I can challenge this statement he makes.
Right now, we're at a junction of this investigation where we're even offering a reward for people to come forward. We've taken $1,000 from our secret witness fund and offered a reward for any information that could lead to the apprehension of suspects involved in the shooting. This is an unfortunate incident in our city. We would like help. We've been trying to talk to people, and we've been talking also to authorities from Los Angeles Police Department, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and also the Compton Police Department. So right now, we're at a junction of this investigation. We need someone to come forward, give us a vehicle description, license plate number, or something.
Sergeant McCurdy, it's very common, unfortunately, in many inner cities like Washington, D.C., Chicago, Los Angeles, for drive-by shootings. Is this an unusual occurrence in the city of Las Vegas?
Well, we're like any urban city anymore. We have our share of drive-by shootings, and this one was particularly interesting because it happened so closely to the Las Vegas Strip on a very busy night. This is a bold act, very brazen act that took place in our city, something that we're not proud of, and it's just amazing to me and to our homicide investigators that no one's come forward with any specific information on the suspect vehicle or the...
Let's stop right there. How many people did he say came forward? How many? No one. He said no one came forward. Do no one mean 2 people? No one mean nobody, right? Now that strikes me as strange because we know we had a footage of the witness right there, right after it happened, standing right there doing what? Testifying, being interviewed. Say, I saw him, and he's nervous, and they put that camera right up on him. But how many people did he say? And in fact, even after they killed that witness, 2 more people said that they too tried to identify the shooters that night. And what happened? They didn't call them back. They didn't call them back. They didn't want to show them nobody. Didn't show them no faces. Didn't want to put them in no lineup. Didn't want to do anything that would allow them to tell. So the question becomes, on that level, is that police cooperation? Because how many people he said it was? Now, somebody else said, hey, I did try to tell, and I told him. What then happens to the perpetrator? But because there's no computation in relationships, there's no response to the perpetrator. Now, he's out in the front. I remember when Khaled got shot. I remember the little idiot AP reporter who kept saying, hey, it was a 45. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. I saw it in his hand. And what was it? Wasn't a 9mm. But he was the first person on television telling everyone he saw it for sure. In fact, I thought he might even been a scapegoat put up there to misidentify stuff, to start putting doubt in it. Well, either way, I think
this is a great point because it's telling y'all about Angie Stone. When that white lady came up and that white lady said, yes, I got her out the truck. And then, you know, a truck came past me and it blew by me and it ran her over. It's like they just putting her up there to say this to just confirm or to make confusion and secure their lie. That stuff probably ain't even happened. She probably sat her there and made her sit in the right spot so the truck driver can run her over. It's just when you got the media and you speaking to the media, the first person, it's like that's the first sign of like deceiving that you can do.
The signal was either way you sent them, its fate is sealed. So at that point, they just stayed in the stall for a while because since they didn't feel they get no relief from either fate. And that's an option that Brother Collins effectively took away. Said, let him come on back out. Let us have him for a while. And but he was the first one, and the press magnified this man. What's it, Thomas? So I've been trying to, sometimes you be out, you be looking for these people showing up at other things. I forget that man's name, but I have him on film. But I just was intrigued by the fact that he's opening people who have these definitive statements when in fact they may not be correct.
How are you dealing with what appears to be a code of silence among those who do know something?
Code of silence is a mafia connection.
Going outside of the immediate circle of the people who may know things about their involvement in that caravan of cars. We're trying to work with other officials to develop information that would cause Mr. Shakur to have been a target, or even Mr. Knight has been a target in this particular shooting that took place.
Now they want to study motives, but they don't want witnesses.
What developments came out of that?
Like, let me get in your business. Let me see your pockets. What you got in your pockets?
There was nothing. He gave us nothing that would really help us in this investigation, and it took him several days to come forward. So we're hoping that maybe he'll have a change of heart, maybe he'll recall something, but you have to recall that he was also being shot at. And so in his position, it may be difficult. It's quite startling when you're receiving gunfire such as that.
So did he just refuse to answer your question?
No, he talked, he cooperated, just was not able to give any information that would lead right now to the apprehension of the suspect.
Okay, thank you very much, Sergeant, for joining us.
You bet.
What's his name, Sergeant what? Huh? Sergeant McCurdy. This is a little BT CIA drug thing. And Joe Madison. He the one fought to Chase Chavis out the NAACP, switch him around. He a revolutionary on the CIA. He be on in the morning and Ali Nora be on in the afternoon. They're on the same station, mutually crossing each other out. They're a bishop for a night. Yeah. This is Tupac playing with the ancestors again. I told y'all about this last week. Walking around with Red Fox and Danny Hathaway back there, and Jimi Hendrix, and them always can't be doing that. Playing with them ancestors and stuff.
Tupac created this album, though.
They don't like you playing with the ancestors, like playing with the people who they don't like you putting out Malcolm X, or you putting out Steve Coakley or Tupac. They don't like you playing with our ancestors because they know they got good influence. Steve Coakley be giving out their game. They know they still got the influence. So if we keeping our ancestors alive, it's a problem for them because it's like, dang, the spirit of that is still circling around the universe, and they want to get rid of any fight that we trying to have going up against their situation, man. Coakley spitting that game. Check this
Now,
out.
this is Suge's dialogue about how he wanted Tupac to be remembered.
And as a personal
Marvin Gaye.
best friend, the record executive has now tattooed Tupac's name on his arm.
Yeah, he only gave his mother that money. Huh? You know, Suge? You know, Suge? Man, me neither. Johnson tried to hook me up with him once.
Can't nobody arrest him. Can't nobody try to put him down.
See, I don't like this either.
Shots at him. Can't nobody arrest him. I'm not here to keep him ready for me. I'm coming through the
So Suge say he was in heaven. So Suge say he was in heaven.
Yeah, and I didn't like that because Suge kind of gave it like, you can't hurt Tupac now, he's free. We gotta quit getting manhood out of the Marines, freedom out of death. But we gotta quit choosing these oddball options, you know. Somebody said, well, you know, Copley's free now, he's dead. All that having to do elect every week, carrying them boxes around to your raggedy and stuff.
All niggas can commit suicide.
Right.
The whole black nation.
Right, it'd be Town or something.
Right.
Yeah, I want to get, what we're trying to get here is add Tupac on it over and over again. He's, his comment is that he had just had the tribute in New York. They had a tribute to New York for Tupac. And he's talking about that event with Travis the Punk. Now, I got this guy that night over there at the church. I can't stand him. And his dialogue against you about how he'd never sit on the podium with someone who would be an advocate of not voting was an insult. Because ain't a thing, we voted him on BET. Is that what we getting out of it? We voting him in? I mean, what are we getting out of this? If this is what we got? 1 hour talk with Travis the Tom. That night got me going, y'all. I had to tell y'all, I was talking to the TV. I missed the show, but I got somebody had brought a tape to me, and I was talking to the TV. I was so mad. And that Alvin Toussaint with God. This is saying how Tupac was with Digital Underground, making juice, this and that. I just got to get this to the spot where I think it's coming up right now, where we walk into the unsolved mystery reenactment of his assassination attempt. Tupac made an interesting thing. There we go. Make an interesting thing in it.
That situation with me is like what comes around goes around. Karma, I believe in karma. I believe in all of that. I'm not worried about it.
Well, again, these are not options that we start choosing in our dialogues. It's something we got to deal with on another level. Come on. Of course, it was that record that sent Dr. Dre to his own record company because he felt his song got stolen and given to Tupac.
What song was that?
California Love. Because it really, Dre is even more in the song. Tupac had just come out of jail. Let's go.
Suge got him out of jail.
Suge, yeah, that's the Suge contract, which is a handwritten contract through that attorney boy, Kenner, who really needs to be questioned. He really needs to be kidnapped and then questioned. Kenner, he's the allegedly the power of attorney, who now Suge alleges misappropriated millions of dollars.
Tape.
Tape. this is another interview of his. Thanks, Brother Bruce. Yeah, I really need to clean these all down. Clean these all down to a single tape. It says, from the car to the fight in the casino.
The investigation into Shakur's murder has become a tangle of chilling speculation and conflicting theories.
For Unsolved Mysteries to do the reenactment, who did the testimony? Since Unsolved Mystery wasn't on that corner, who told them that the shooter went like this and went like that and got out the car, stood over the car? How you gonna do a reenactment without a script? Huh? Right, and that the girls were in the whole scenario. And imagine someone come to you and say, hey, look, I need you to act in this little film I'm shooting, reenacting the Tupac, and then somebody standing there with a script directing this reenactment. Can't do that without an understanding. And so that becomes a mystery on the Unsolved Mystery. We start solving them.
Dre was robbing him for
what
it.
the real mystery is. Now this is interesting too. Why did Suge Knight go in the opposite direction? After the shooting, he drove in the opposite direction for a mile. Before he just drove up to a casino. What did he do in the 8 blocks going in the opposite direction? And would you not have drove your car since you weren't injured after the car?
He finally stopped in front of a casino 1 mile away.
What? I ain't know he stopped in front of the casino.
Shot in the chest, in the hip, and in the head. Suge Knight had escaped with a slight bullet graze in the temple.
I ain't even know that.
I would like
That's
to
crazy.
examine that wound. Slight bullet graze in the temple. Where's the temple area? Right here? Okay. So he's on the side of Tupac. Did he have his head turned? Looking. Then did the graze bullet go out the other window?
Yeah.
Was his head turned this way? Was it a graze going that way? Yeah, the magic bullet theory. Because if he just driving, his head's got to be slanted in one direction to get a graze in the temple.
He was looking out the passenger window and could have came straight at him.
Been looking out the passenger window and they could have come straight across.
So, man, yeah, we're gonna wrap this one up, but yeah, he's calling it assassination. So we know that Nipsey Hussle, anybody that passed, it's just way more profitable when they own your masters. You make so much money. You're worth more dead than you are alive. So it's like they got to do all of this and try to find something for you to die so they can still own your masters when you're dead. So when you die, like that's like a lot of money. That's like a lot of money that a superstar can have. I forget the name of the elder in jail right now, and he's crying, I'm innocent. Yeah, so that's why, man, no record deals. Anybody that signed a record deal is like, we already know you either want to be a part of them people or you just don't know your history or you just being this stupid that every one of your legends that signed record deals, they got done wrong. So what would make you sign? Like what? Give me a reason why somebody would just sign a record deal right now. It just don't make sense to me. Puff made so much after Biggie deal. For real, bro. They getting rich off of these dead artists. A dead legend is worth billions, probably. Who made songs and their music gonna last forever. It's worth so much, man. But Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a former South California street gang leader, pleaded not guilty to murder. Oh, he just pleaded not guilty to murder? Oh, he pleaded not guilty. They haven't. Yeah, they still going to court and trial about that. I think they're trying to get Keefe D to say that Diddy made him do it. Like, they're trying to get Diddy on that, in my opinion. But, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping into this show, man. Y'all know we always pushing help, well, better understanding the self. R.I.P. to Angie Stone, man. We still trying to expose that. What you put? Sign up for a TuneCore with your music and get every cent you make. For real, we got to tell the people something, because I don't want to see nobody else sign no record deal. I don't even want you to feel like it's okay to sign with these people. So, man, I had a great time with y'all tonight. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We gonna be on tomorrow. Y'all know how we do, man. Steady, trying to unite, trying to come together. So I put the link to the I put a link, y'all, to the Discord, man. Y'all tap into the Discord so we can stay connected. We can go over some stuff that we can do on the just on the Discord. Put some videos and stuff up there that we can have a private chat. All right. Thank you, Kat. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. But listen, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Make sure y'all sign up for that. Let me put it back in there so y'all can see it. Sign up for the Discord. And yes, Mickey Jones, I already seen you in there, man. Y'all get into that Discord so we can all stay in contact, communicate with each other, and build. You know, I feel like we can do something big together. So y'all tap in with me and let's keep it moving. So peace, love. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all make sure y'all get in that Discord. Peace.